Good morning, my name is Gabe Zollner. I have a question to ask. What do Eric Holder, the Honorable Attorney General Eric Holder, and Timothy Geithner have in common? Well, think about that one for a moment. What's interesting is that yesterday on Western Center Journalism, Daniel Ngo published an article along a little video that was done by, I believe, InfoWars. And apparently back in 2009, Sharon Malone Holder, that's the Honorable Attorney General Eric Holder's wife, well, they established a trust. And what the trust did is it showed the partnership of Sharon Malone Holder and her sister, Eric Holder's sister-in-law. They have joint co-ownership of a building outside of Atlanta. And what that building is, it's an abortion clinic. Now that by itself should be rather interesting and shocking, but I think it gets a little bit better. If you remember the original question that I asked, and I asked what do they have in common? Well, it looks like they're both tax cheats. And the reason that is that to the best of my understanding, according to that little video clip that Daniel Ngo posted, they never made mention of that building or that co-ownership in their tax returns. And I got to believe that a abortion clinic near Atlanta has to do real well financially. And it'd be real interesting to see the kind of revenue that was generated, and the revenue that, according to the trust, would have been shared between Sharon Malone Holder and her sister. And none of that revenue was apparently presented to the Internal Revenue Services. So, I guess the answer to that question is they both appear to be, or they both appear, well, one appeared to be a tax cheat, the other one probably still is. And it's really amazing how corrupt a lot of these people really are. And eventually it all bubbles to the surface, you know. You can run, but you can't hide forever. And I think that's what's happening. So I think what has to happen is the Honorable Attorney General Eric Holder has to be investigated for his tax returns. And that has to be made public. And he has to be exposed for being what he is. Now what we have is we have the Attorney General of the United States, who is obviously a tax cheat. Well, that's not a whole lot different than having Timothy Geithner, head of the IRS, because he was also a tax cheat. Is there a pattern that's here? Do we see a pattern? What about our president that we know nothing about? Is it possible that he's one of the same? In other words, he's also a cheat? Sure looks that way to me. What about to you? Demand that Congress unseal his records. Demand that Congress unseal Obama's records and prove his eligibility to hold office. And the only way he can do that is by releasing his Occidental, his Harvard transcripts, his application, as well as the passport that he used to gain entrance. Other than that, there's very little future for this country. Thanks.